What's up everyone, my name is Mistic, and welcome to Mistic Rex. Today we have a video by TierZoo, the optimal number of arms, which as you can see very clearly, I have 2 arms for now, but maybe this will convince me to have arm surgery and get more, or maybe remove one. I don't know, but let's get into it. Yo. Ooh, that's an eel, right?
Alright everyone,
Alright,
let's talk cephalopods.
okay.
So since they're a really unique build, some of you might not know how to actually get to them on the character select screen. Almost all of the builds we've discussed so far have been vertebrates. But to get to this build, you'll actually need to select the invertebrate section and then find the mollusk guild. From there, you can join one of 3 clans: the bivalves, the gastropods, and the cephalopods. You're going to go ahead and choose cephalopod because they're by far the strongest build in the guild. Now here's where you get to make a decision. How many arms do you want? You might think this is an arbitrary decision, but what you choose here actually determines a lot of the class-specific skills you have available, as well as some of your base stats. So for this video, I want to outline how important this decision is by examining the 2 available classes, their most optimized builds, and their most unique abilities. So anyways, when building a cephalopod, you're offered a choice: 10 arms or only 8.
Oh, 8.
Let's say you choose 10.
I'm not wearing my glasses.
Choosing 10 unlocks the squid subclass.
A squid.
The squid is the premier ocean intelligence, power, and mobility hybrid. It's got reasonably high intelligence, and more importantly, extraordinary power because of its armor-piercing beak and one of the top grabs available in the ocean servers. Its grab has the added bonus of inflicting damage when the grab target struggles in an attempt to break free. Squids back up this powerful offensive kit with high mobility, which means if a squid player wants to pick a fight, escape is not an option. I mentioned intelligence briefly, but I think it's worth discussing further. The squid's intelligence is exemplified by one of its attributes, which is only available to high intelligence builds: the ability to hunt in packs. Pack hunting makes squids a genuinely oppressive force in the territory that they control. It's worth pointing out that I'm talking about the best of many squid builds, the Humboldt
intelligence
squid.
Is
but that's
the
not
lowest.
to say that this is the only playstyle available to squid players. You can opt for a tank build by selecting either the giant or colossal squid. This build also allows you to enter the deepest ocean servers, areas of the game very few players ever get to see.
But I would
If you
not
prefer
swim
stealth-based
that deep.
builds, you can also try out the bobtail squid, which is one of the only builds which uses light to hide. Because it emits light, the squid avoids casting a shadow against starlight or moonlight, which counterintuitively makes it one of the most stealthy nocturnal builds. Fun fact, the squid can't activate this stealth ability on its own. It's actually a buff applied by a support class from Kingdom Bacteria called Vibrio fisheri. But I'm getting off track. Squids have high power and mobility, and can also have high HP, stealth, and intelligence depending on the build. However, if you want a premier stealth and intelligence build, you're going to want to choose 8 arms instead of 10. This unlocks the octopus class.
Right.
Octopuses have the second highest intelligence of all marine builds, outplaced only by dolphins. This high intelligence unlocks attributes such as tool use, complex structure navigation, and adaptive problem solving. And while this is all impressive in its own right, where the octopus really shines is using its high intelligence in conjunction with the highest stealth in the entire game. No other build possesses so many strong stealth abilities.
Right.
Not only can they change the color of their body to match their surroundings, they can also change the texture of their skin so that they're almost indistinguishable from the surface they hide on. And combining these abilities with their high intelligence allows them to shapeshift and mimic other players.
My surroundings.
And if all of this fails, they've still got their trademark ink ability, which gives it a massive buff to stealth for a split second, just enough to escape and cloak again. Now I'm sure by now you're all asking where these guys belong on the tier list. If you've watched my earlier videos, you might have seen that I put them in A tier, in which case you're probably wondering how builds with such good stats and abilities can be anywhere but S tier. The problem is they've got some serious weaknesses that can keep them down. First and most obvious is that they have one of the lowest defense ratings of any marine build. Most mollusks have armor, but in order to maximize stealth and mobility, cephalopods have none. This means that getting caught can mean game over instantly for even the best octopus players. The second, less obvious one is that unfortunately for these builds, the total game time is relatively short, capping out at only a few years. This means that cephalopods don't get as much out of their high intelligence as they could. They can solve problems in the moment, but intelligence is most powerful when used to accumulate wisdom. High wisdom accumulation is what makes high intelligence builds truly overpowered.
I don't have
It's what
that.
gives elephants their unparalleled pathfinding abilities. It's what gives crows their unmatched strategic prowess, and what gives humans the ability to fine-tune their tool use.
No.
So there you have
Not
it,
me.
an extremely viable build with a multitude of high and even maxed stats, held back by only a few weaknesses. If you've got an aspect of the meta you'd like me to talk about, don't hesitate to comment.
Again.
I've seen some awesome ideas in the comments already
More
that I
bats.
can't wait to talk about. If you're really desperate to know what I think of your favorite build, you can also subscribe to my Patreon. So if you aren't interested in hearing me talk about my channel's progress so far, this is your chance to click away. Anyways, guys, this channel is doing ridiculously well. In all of my experience with YouTube, the only way I've ever hit high view counts is through Reddit. However, my last video, the one about snakes, didn't really get much traction on Reddit. But in spite of that, it still did well on YouTube. That's actually huge. It means my videos are being promoted in the suggested videos on YouTube itself. That means the channel will continue to grow and won't have to rely on lucky breaks on social media. There are very few channels which have entered this phase of growth as quickly as this channel has. In addition, even though my first video has about 5 times as many views as my others, my new ones received much more of what YouTube calls viewer engagement, things like comments, shares, and likes. This means one thing: my subscribers are awesome.
This
You
is
guys
an
got
old
me this
video,
far,
isn't it?
and I fully
But
intend
nice.
on making the investments you've made on this channel worth it. Finally, I need to do a shout out to the guys from Two Best Friends Play. I had no idea who they were before starting this channel, but they mentioned me in a podcast which ended up generating a ton of interest for me. I don't deserve the love I've gotten from you guys, as well as those of you who keep posting my videos on the Two Best Friends subreddit. Actually, the same goes for anyone who shares my videos on any subreddit. If I see a video of mine getting a lot of upvotes, I'll give you Reddit Gold as a way of saying thank you. Anyways, thanks again, everyone.
What is Reddit Gold, anyways? Does anyone know? I've never gotten Reddit Gold. I'm crying. I wish I had some. I do not use Reddit that much. But I hope you enjoyed. Does anyone have like octopus? They can be pets, right? I don't know. Let me know what you thought down below. How many arms do you have? Until next time, bye bye.